Architectural Builder Supply is pleased to present you with this recording of the technical question that is listed in the title of this video.
This call may be monitored and recorded for quality assurance.
You're asking about an Everest cylinder application, and you were told Everest T. Well, will it actually be Everest 29? And that's because the Everest 29 is the current, version of the Everest platform. Every 5, 10, whatever, 9, 12 years, whatever it is, these manufacturers have to get a new patent, to keep their technology protected, so they evolve the product. Well, the 29 is the current version of it. The T simply refers to a family of keyways. It's a restricted keyway, and it doesn't make it special, doesn't make it fancy, doesn't make it anything other than the fact that it's restricted at the factory, so that there must be an established paper trail, chain of custody of who's asking for what, where's it going, who it is, the whole 9 yards. So no big deal. So the question is, I think my question was, what are you putting the cylinder into, or is it going into a housing? So, the cylinder is what you stick the key in, but the platform of what you stick the key in can take multiple shapes.
Yes, okay. We're using town steel mortise locks.
Okay, so you're going to use a town steel mortise lock. They want to toss an Everest cylinder into it. So the question becomes is it conventional cylinder or is it interchangeable core?
Okay. Let me check here.
Okay. Don't be scared about any of this. It took me a long time before it made sense, but it's easy once you get it.
Yeah, okay. Looking at my project schedule, it's actually the CRXA, which is cylindrical, and I assume they'll want the interchangeable core.
Why do you assume that?
Fair question. I was thinking they were going to change out the cores once they got occupancy and the owner moved into the space.
Yeah, absolutely. That's certainly logical. That's what full-size interchangeable core is kind of used for, but it will have a substantial impact on the cost.
Okay.
I think you need to blow a call into your client and say, do you want to be able to pull the cores out only of the housings, or are you going to have, if you're going to rekey these, what do you want to see? If you were to, I'm sorry, you said they were cylindrical or mortise locks?
Sorry, they're cylindrical.
Okay. So here's the question then. Is the cylindrical lock by Town Steel that you're providing available in a large format removable interchangeable core?
Okay, I believe it is, but I'll check that.
Okay, but so the question becomes is, what are you quoting them from Town Steel? What's the part number?
I don't have the exact part number. Do you have that in your email, Scott?
Because I'm not super familiar with Town Steel, but I know Ruby over there, and we buy from them as well.
Oh, okay.
But a cylindrical, so it's obviously a cylindrical lever.
We go with the CRXA.
CRXA.
And they want storeroom function. That's the grade 1 lever, I imagine? Yeah, it's the 5-point, like this crescent handle.
Okay, so, I don't see a CRXA. I see a CDC, although my catalog may be old. Let's take a look. CRXA. Architectural hardware. Yeah. Cylindrical locks, grade 1.
You have the quote from that thing?
They do not have a CRXA series.
Okay. I'm just pulling up their quote to find the part number.
Yeah.
I used to have it printed out on my desk.
Oh.
Spelling it right helps.
Come on.
I forwarded it to you.
Yeah, you did. Oh.
Grab my computer.
You said it was a Gala lever?
Like a crescent-shaped lever. I have the part number here now.
Okay.
CRX-86-LH-LC.
CRX.
It's one of their ligature-resistant locks.
Okay. So I'm in the wrong section. CRX. Let's pull it up. Okay. RX. Yeah, okay, I got it. I understand. Okay. Brass cylinder, small format. Okay. So they can do conventional or they can do Schlage full-size interchangeable core. So you need to find out from them if they want the conventional cylinder or if they want large format. Now, if you know that they want large format, you know what? Then I know what needs to be quoted. Meaning, if you know that they want to remove the cores with a control key, then I know what to do. It's not nothing but a thing to this.
Okay, yeah, let's go with that, because that was our discussion at the keying meeting, is doing the interchangeable, like the removable core with the control key and stuff.
Right on. Okay, so I've got the information that I need. I will get a quote. And, well, anything else in the keying meeting that was important that I should know? I mean, how are the cylinders generally keyed?
They were discussing doing construction keying, but I told them that we'd supply them without. They have storeroom function on their patient rooms, so I told them we'd supply them without cylinder. And then they have a locksmith on site that can do the keying and getting the cores in there.
Okay, you mean when it comes to temporary cylinders?
Yeah, because they're going to do the temporary cylinders. The locksmith is. We're just getting 2 samples to send to Town Steel and 1 for keeping on the shelf here.
Sample of what?
Of the cylinder.
Of the temporary or this Everest T we're talking about?
The Everest.
Oh, that's not going to be something that a sample can be sent. I mean, an order can be entered for Everest T, but that's all restricted. That's going to go right to the end user. So what was the logic on wanting a sample of the cylinder?
Because Town Steel, if we're using anything besides the Schlage C, they require us to send a sample of the cylinder. Is there a way I could get Everest 29 without the restricted?
You sure can, absolutely. You can buy it in a standard keyway, which might be a way to skin that cat. But you know, whether it's Everest 29 or garden variety or classic Schlage or hyper restricted, it's all going to fit into their lever the same way. There would be no reason for them to stick it in there and say, "Oh yeah, it fits." at least as far as I know.
Yeah, no, I certainly agree because it's all the same shape, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean the platform, the dimensional properties of the removable cylinder is identical regardless of the keyway.
Okay, yeah. Well, they're requesting it, so let's get 2 of the non-restricted ones on order. We'll send it to them. They'll make it. They'll be happy, and we'll get our stuff, and then should work fine.
Yeah, I understand. So in the keying meeting, the locksmith's going to provide temporaries. You can also provide temporaries. It's just someone's got to sell these people a whole mess of cylinders, and it could be you or someone else. You know what I mean? Because that's easy work. Now, what was discussed in the keying meeting in terms of key to like, key different, master keyed, grandmaster keyed, any of these terms get floated around?
No, it was mainly just discussing the construction side of things because once the space gets turned over, then the owner's going to go back through and remove everything that the contractor had in there and make it fit into their sort of master system or whatever.
So, okay, so that's good to know. Is there an existing master key that they want to have these new cylinders work with?
I don't know that.
So that'll be super important to know because ultimately to get the material ordered, we would have to have, knowing whether or not this is an extension of an existing system or a new system is super important because it could be possible, and I don't think it is with the Everest, but they may have that keyway available only through a very particular channel of distribution. But if all they said to you is they want a T keyway, okay, well, they obviously they're not matching anything, or they would have said, no, it has to be this particular, there would be information about an existing system.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay.
What I'll do then is I'll use the sample that I was planning on keeping here and send that down to the locksmith and say, hey, here's what I don't know why I need to do that. I'll just leave it to them to figure out the keys. We'll provide them less cylinder, and then we'll let the locksmith down there worry about it.
Yeah, town steel, less cylinder. Locksmith does construction cores, or you do. Locksmith does construction cores. Then you provide the permanent cores, which are going to ship from the factory direct to your end user.
Okay. I don't want to get into the cores on that because they have other doors that are out of our scope there. So let's leave that.
Well, what cores do you mean?
Like we won't supply. There's like 29 doors on this one, and we'll leave them without the core on it.
You've got 29 locks. You're gonna tell Town Steel to ship them less cylinder.
Yeah.
And then you are going to provide, the Town Steel would be prepped for a Schlage full-size interchangeable core. They're going to go to the job. The locksmith will come and put construction cores everywhere and hand out keys. You're then going to provide under your contract the permanent cores for the job, which will ship direct to your client.
Okay. And then do I need to provide you a code for that core or anything like that?
No, because you mean like a part number for the cylinder itself?
Yeah.
No, not at all, because Town Steel's prepping for Schlage full size. There's only one type of that.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
So, okay, so that was the other question. There are 29 cylinders that you need. In the interest of having all the information, is it, what color are the locks?
These are 630.
I was going to say, do they make them in anything but 630? Let's see. Yeah, no, they don't, actually. Okay, so 626 on the cylinder fronts.
Yeah, that's good.
All right. It's available with and without a logo. Do you care?
No, I don't care.
Right on. With logo would be obviously typical. So we'll figure it out to be all master keyed. 2 copies of the key per cylinder, and then some copies of the control and the master key.
Okay.
And master. All right. Simple and straightforward. I'll get to working on a quote, and you say that you've got a cylinder there that you're going to send to Town Steel and say, hey, stick this in there and make sure it works.
Well, I would need one of those beforehand.
You do need it, okay. So
Yeah.
you would need an Everest with a control key and a change key. Okay, I understand.
Yeah.
All right.
If you can do that as 2 separate quotes, then I'll get the first one ordered, and then we'll come back on the second one.
Oh, no doubt. Also because it'll take a couple of days to get a quote back from Schlage on the Everest T. So
Yeah, okay.
there you go. Awesome. All right, sir. Thanks for calling. I appreciate the time.
Thanks, Rich. Appreciate your help.
You too. Bye-bye.
Architectural Builders Supply hopes you have enjoyed this program. Again, thank you for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, please click thumbs up. Please subscribe and maybe even send the video to someone that you know. Thank you.